All right, let's get it. Got a little bit of space. Let's get a shot to OG.
In 2016, a man named Brett Stewart and 3 other researchers conducted a remote viewing session on the concept of moksha.
Pay attention, y'all.
In 2016, a man named Brett Stewart and 3 other researchers conducted a remote viewing session on the concept of moksha, a Sanskrit word that means escaping the reincarnation cycle. He posted a YouTube video about this experiment that he then strangely took down. This remote viewing was done blindly, which means that a 5th person sent each of the 4 viewers a randomly generated number. This 5th person had associated this number with the word moksha, so none of the viewers' conscious minds could affect the integrity of the results with bias or previously learned knowledge. They saw what they described as an innocent planet surrounded by a net or grid. This net was catching the souls of people who died on the planet and sending them back.
Now y'all hear that right there? See, y'all don't know about is that why they call it the internet? You know what I'm saying? The internet, the web, the spider web, where the tarantula is on. You know what I'm saying? You are the fly, and the tarantula catches you on the web, on the net, and devour your soul. Is there really a net when we die out of this joint? When the body died, our soul ascend or descend or whatever. You know, when we trying to get up out of here and there's a net that captured the soul of the being and reincarnate you back in this simulatrix, this gang stalking simulatrix all over again.
Saw what they described as an innocent planet surrounded by a net or grid.
This planet ain't so innocent.
This net was catching the souls of people who died on the planet and sending them back after harvesting a piece of the soul. This net was connected to
after harvesting a piece of the soul. They're taken from you.
A large companion object, which they thought might have been non-solid or luminous. To me, this sounded a lot like the moon.
Uh-oh.
They saw that this whole soul harvesting operation,
look at that damn moon again,
was very mechanical, and that although the technology was far beyond something that they could describe, the whole thing functioned like clockwork over very long periods of time. They perceived that this piece of the soul, which was broken off, was then gathered with pieces of other souls, all crying out in pain, as they were then used as a sort of kindling to power the whole system. They saw that these souls then had their memory wiped before being sent back to Earth.
There you go again. Over and over and over. You keep hearing about this memory wipe bull crap.
There was an overcrowding of the souls deliberately to bring about wars and chaos, which increased this energy harvest. This is very similar to Chapter 12 of Robert Monroe's astral projection book, Far Journeys, in which he describes an energy called loosh that is farmed from human beings, most effectively from suffering.
And I know y'all know about the loosh. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure y'all done heard about the loosh. This is what it's all about. They put you through pain and suffering so they can get that loosh, aka adrenochrome, whatever you want to use, but they need that source from you. That's that energy source. That's that fuel. That's that 93 unleaded. You know what I mean? For that Lamborghini. You know what I'm saying? We got to put the best in the best. We don't want 87. We want that 93. That good loosh from your ass. You know what I mean? This is a harvesting. This is a farm. This is a harvesting cattle place. So you got to be out your mind if you want to keep coming back down here. But from what I'm seeing, that's why I be, tripping, because people keep saying we volunteered to come down here and all this stuff. Like, did we really? How did we really volunteer? How do you know that you volunteered or you chose to come down here? How do you know if there's a net catching your soul? Soul catchers, soul traps. If this is real, which to me it seems to be, Because I ask myself over and over and over, why the hell I come down this joint? What the fuck I come down here for? To be around a bunch of dead folk. To be born in a fake simulated family. To be getting gang stalked by everybody. So I'm like, why did I come down here? So people say, oh man, you came down here to wake people up. Who? Who the hell did I wake up? Everybody sitting around me is informants. Male, female, TI, non-TI. It don't matter. These gang stalkers are stupid. The TIs is more stupid than the gang stalkers. I done met so many dumb TIs, man, don't make no damn sense. So who am I waking up?
The Monroe Institute strangely avoids discussion about the suffering that is farmed from human beings most effectively from suffering. The Monroe Institute strangely avoids discussion about this chapter. Despite being unaware that the place they...
I'm going to let the video play, but that's just another reason, too, why, people always say, why is so much crime in this world? Why is there so much crime? They need the crime. They want that loosh, okay?
They were viewing was Earth. All of the viewers were very upset by the great injustices they were seeing. They inquired as to how this could have ever been allowed if there was any good in the universe. The result of that question was that they saw a time before this trapping net had enveloped the Earth, a time before this companion object where souls could freely leave after death. This coincides with my theory that the companion object was the moon after death, a time before this companion object where souls could freely leave after death. This coincides with my theory that the...
So once upon a time, the souls could freely leave. You know what I'm saying? So now they trying to lock it down. They don't want you to leave now. They want you to stay here so they can just continue to suck your loose throughout eternity. This is you don't understand. When the Bible talks about this eternal hell, it must be talking about planet Earth, dog.
The result of that question was that they saw a time before this trapping net had enveloped the Earth, a time before this companion object where souls could freely leave after death. This coincides with my theory that the companion object was the moon, since many ancient cultures spoke of a golden age before the moon and viewed the moon as evil. They saw that some sort of great evil viewed this place with jealousy and hate, so much that this evil fought...
That's that word right there, jealousy and hate. But y'all suckers still worship the jealous God. And you talk to these dumb Christians, man, they justify it. They justify it. I remember I talked to this dumbass nigga. I said, you mean to tell me it's cool for God to be jealous? And he was like, yeah. He said, ain't nothing wrong with that. I said, would you hang with a jealous person? You wouldn't even hang with a jealous ninja. I've been in relationships with females, right? And females will be jealous of me. You know what I'm saying? They be jealous. What do you mean, D? Like, when you're working out, you know what I'm saying, your body looking good, and they ain't working out, they can't keep up with you. So y'all go out or whatever, and girls looking at you and stuff. Instead of the girl that you with, instead of her be like, that's right, he's mine. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worrying about y'all. Y'all can look. You can't touch though. Instead of females saying that, no, they just get jealous of you. They start hating. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it off. A lot of these females that be talking that crap, talking about they want a man that work out and got a nice body. No, they don't. A lot of them don't want that. They jealous. They might want it just to have sex, just to lick you up and down. You know what I'm saying? Lick on your six pack or whatever, on your cut, chiseled back and chest. But in all reality, they jealous. They don't really want it. I had a female before. She used to complain that I spent too much time at the gym. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, how do you think you're going to develop a body if you don't go to the gym, right? This ain't genetics. I built this city. We built this city. I built this, you know what I'm saying? This is back in my, my bodybuilding time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, like, people, jealousy is a bitch trait, you know what I'm saying? If you jealous, you's a sucker. So if you worshiping this God that's a jealous God, then you's a sucker, and your God is a sucker. Can I get a no there?
A war for the earth, destruction. So much that evil viewed this place with jealousy and hate. So much that this evil fought a war for the earth. Destruction and battle scars were seen to have covered the earth. This could be one of the catastrophes described by almost all ancient cultures. This evil takeover was then seen to be what led to the state of Earth today. They asked how one could achieve this state of moksha and escape this horrible trap. They saw that the angle the soul left the body was important, and though the description was kind of vague, it seems like going straight vertically out of the head or horizontally out of the chest led to being trapped, and that one should aim for a 45-degree exit.
What?
Once this exit was achieved and the soul escaped the net, they described a group that would use a sort of rope to guide the soul to what they called a soul highway. From a soul trap perspective, this would just be leaving one layer of the matrix while still being trapped. You might not have to reincarnate on a place as dense as Earth, but heavenly realms are still in the system and therefore false. They saw that most don't reach the rope at all because of intense fear of the unknown, since even though they've done this countless times, their memory is wiped each time, so it feels brand new.
Ain't that
Then
something?
they delved into who was responsible for such a horrific system. What they described was a council of beings that used to be mortal, but through artificial means had become immortal. These beings lived inside what they likened to black holes, dimensions so dense that the effects of time were completely frozen. These beings, seen as parasitic evil creatures with blazing white eyes, had set themselves up as gods. As they were being remote viewed, these demonic creatures could pinpoint the exact awareness of the remote viewer and knew they were being watched, but it was described as a gorilla spotting a small fly. They were on a totally different level and really paid no mind to being watched by such a small mind. Some final words left by Brett were that it was extremely important that souls escape in as few lifetimes as possible, since each iteration left the soul more and more drained until its potential or divine spark eventually just fizzled out. Thanks for watching.
Man, that's crazy, man. Tell me what y'all think about that. But what really, really tripped me out was when he said that even though you've been doing this over and over and over, the fear of the unknown still basically paralyzed them and stopped them or prevented them from leaving the net. Let me see if I can find that part again.
So dense that the effects of time were completely frozen. These beings, seen as parasitic evil creatures with blazing white eyes, had culture. Then they delved into fear of the unknown.
There you go.
Since you might not have to reincarnate on a place as dense as Earth, but heavenly realms are still in the system and therefore false. They saw that most don't reach the rope at all because of intense fear of the unknown, since even though they've done this countless times.
Ain't that some shit? You done it countless times, but you don't even remember that you done it. So you still dealing with the fear of the unknown. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's like the more you research this shit, then he talking about the angle. You gotta be in what he said about this 45-degree angle to leaving how you leave out the body. Like, it's a certain way you gotta exit out the body. Hold up, man. Here you go. It's crazy.
Going straight vertically out of the head or horizontally out of the angle of the soul and escape this horrible trap. They saw that the angle the soul left the body was important, and though the description was kind of vague, it seems like going straight vertically out of the head or horizontally out of the chest led to being trapped, and that one should aim for a 45-degree exit.
Ain't that some shit? Now how the hell am I supposed to know that? You know what I'm saying? Well, D, you're supposed to know because your soul is eternal. Okay. But if they keep erasing your mind, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? But remember, you're not the mind anyway, right? You know what I'm saying? You're only the mind because you're in this body, right? You know, I don't know. You got it. I guess it's all about trusting your soul, your energy, your ether or whatever. You know what I'm saying? When you exit about this joint, because I look at it like this. If you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? You know how, even since I've been in this body, you know how when I was younger, you know how you knew things, Even before you got the head knowledge, your spirit knew. You know what I'm saying? Even before I educated myself, I self-educated myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this shit that I learned, it's like my spirit already knew. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. But yeah, this is crazy, dog. You know what I'm saying? Comment down below, man. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, man. Shout out to OG Dre. You know what I'm saying? I love watching these videos, man, because they got a whole bunch of people from TikTok, man, just videos I've never seen before. You know what I mean? I don't know this guy right here. Never seen him before. You know what I'm saying? I don't even remember. Did he say what book he was reading from? But this is what he's talking about, remote viewing of the Soul Trap. You know what I mean? I still want to get that, what's that, Robert Duncan book, Soul Trap. I still want to get that book, man. If anybody want to be generous and donate $30, the book is $30. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody want me to get that book so I can read to y'all, hit the Cash App up, $ the Christ 777. I'd be glad to get that Soul Trap, because I do want to read that book, man, so I can, I just want to inform myself, man, because like I said, I don't want to leave this planet until I know I'm not coming back down this bitch no more, because ain't no sense of be leaving this joint and then you're going to just get siphoned and going to get caught by the net. You know what I'm saying? And mind swiped and be born again and Tatiana's your mom or something. You know what I'm saying? You know, Taquisha, you know, it's your mom from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? So holla back, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, man. We out. I mean, this world is deeper than what you think. You know, if you talk to these program people, they're going to just tell you, oh, don't worry. All you got to do is just believe in Jesus. Everything going to be all right. And those are going to be the souls that's never going to get out of here. You're going to be trapped in this domain, this construct, this simulatrix throughout eternity, like what the scripture says. And there should be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You're going to be trapped here, dying and coming back throughout eternity. Eons that went by. You're going to be an old, super old soul down this joint. When you going to get out? You're going to never get out, because you don't want to get out. You're going to be trapped. And it seems to me that the longer you stay down here and be trapped down here, the more dead and dense you're going to be. You know what I'm saying? This is the Aquarius time. So this is the time, you know what I mean, to wake up, evolve, and get out of here now. If you missed the train, then that's on you. This is your opportunity to get this information so you can learn what you need to learn so you can get the fuck out. Even when you study the ancient Egyptians, that's all they talked about was death. How to get out of this joint and never come back. Holla back, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We out.